Chapter 147, Lord of the Great Tang Kingdom. The most important thing right now was to create the second style blade technique. This was what he urgently needed to do. The second style blade technique, Kang Chan already had an idea last time, only this idea was currently difficult to reach. After all, his comprehension of this space was too little. Now he could only continue to study the heaven escaping hand and find the head of space from this. Space. Kang Chan fell into deep thought. He simply studied it in his room. Anyway, after resolving Li Laoqi's matter, he no longer had anything else to do, so he might as well continue cultivating like this and wait until the heavenly Dao sect's disciple acceptance ceremony began. Heaven escaping hand. In the sea of consciousness, Kang Chan manifested his figure and began to continuously execute the heaven escaping hand. His essence and energy then reached its peak, paying attention to the movements inside and outside of his body all the time, studying the wonders of the heaven escaping hand. Every time he performed the heaven escaping hand, Kang Chan experienced something in his heart, an experience that he could not understand for a while, but was accumulating. He knew that as long as he continued to study like this, ****** day, he would succeed. In the midst of such a boring life of cultivation, Kang Chan passed through a month, until a month later, Jin San Shao found him and woke him up from his cultivation. "I said that you kid is really a cultivation maniac. You are so powerful, and you still cultivate non-stop. How can this make a brother me embarrassed? Look, even Thundercloud and the others have suffered a blow, and now one by one they are at home in seclusion." Jin San Shao poured out a bellyful of bitter water and crackled a whole bunch of words. Kang Chan couldn't help but laugh bitterly and waved his hand. All right. You have nothing important to say, or quickly say what exactly is going on." He knew that Jin San Shao would not come to disturb his cultivation without something important. This time, he even woke him up from his cultivation. There must be something very important. Could it be that the heavenly Dao sect's disciple acceptance ceremony had begun? Kang Chan's eyes immediately lit up, looking at Jin San Shao with anticipation. "The State Lord wants to see you." "No, it's to see us. Forget it. Just go. I'll tell you on the way." Jin San Shao pulled Kang Chan up and directly left the Jin mansion. Out of Kang Chan's expectation, it wasn't that the heavenly Dao sect's disciple acceptance ceremony had begun, but that the State Lord of the Great Tang country wanted to see them, the young talents. Of course, the State Lord was very exalted, and in his position, he only personally received some of the top young jungles, such as the 4 jungles of the imperial capital, the 3 kings of Fendu, and the 7 heroes of the Great Tang dynasty. As for the other young masters, there were some princes and princesses of the Datong Kingdom's royal family who received them on his behalf. Its main purpose was just to bring the young jungles closer to the Great Tang Kingdom. In fact, these young jungles were participating in the Heaven's Path Sect apprentice ceremony on behalf of the Great Tang Kingdom. So as the royal family of the Great Tang Kingdom, they naturally had to show something. Kang Chan, Thundercloud, Flower Fairy. Soon, on the way, Kang Chan and Jin San Shao met Lei Yun, Flower Fairy, Liu Suifeng and the others, all of whom were also going to meet the State Lord. And at that moment, the 5 of them headed to the Imperial Palace together. "I heard that our Datong Kingdom performed very poorly in the last Heavenly Dao sect's disciple acceptance ceremony. Only 1,000 out of 10 million individuals successfully worshipped the Heavenly Dao sect, placing it in the middle and lower reaches amongst a group of kingdoms," Lei Yun said. His father was the king of Zhenan, thus he knew very much. Jin San Shao was also well aware of this. He said in a deep voice, "Indeed, the last Heavenly Dao sect's disciple acceptance ceremony, our Great Tang Kingdom was very humiliated. I heard that the Kingdom Lord was so angry that he directly went into seclusion to cultivate. So during this period of time, a few princes and ministers presided over the political affairs. Kang Chan was not clear about this at all, and could only listen to them talk about it. However, for this great Tang country lord, Kang Tian still had some rumors. Rumor had it that this great Tang country lord was also a true disciple of the Heavenly Tao sect back then, only that he was the bottom of the pile amongst the true disciples, and after he had reached a bottleneck in his cultivation, he returned to the great Tang country to take over the position of country lord. Over the years, this state lord had not been out of the imperial capital, apart from dealing with political affairs. He was cultivating, and now he didn't know what realm he had stepped into. Our young generation is far superior to the previous ones. This time, the state lord personally received us. He should be giving us some favors and encouragement. Jin Sanxiao was old and resourceful, and had a guess in his heart. You have a point. Liu Suifeng nodded. What makes sense? My father said that this time, the state lord is going to grant us the 3 transformation golden pill, which will allow us to raise our cultivation by 1 level. Lei Yun said. He had long since received the news from his father, the Jianing king. What? A 3-turn golden elixir? The state lord's stroke this time is really big. Jin Sanxiao was shocked at his words. Although their Jin family was very powerful in the great Tang kingdom, it was still King Zhenan who had more information about what was going on inside the palace. After all, King Zhenan was an important court official and had a very good relationship with the state lord. Liu Suifeng and Hua Wanyong were also very shocked. What is the 3rd transformation golden pill? Kang Tian didn't ask Jin Sanxiao and the others, because he felt that he would despise them as country bumpkins if he asked. Not to mention that he had the Emperor of Dan as a Dan Dao always. Did he still need to ask others? 3rd turn golden Dan. Oh, your country lord did make a big move this time. To refine the 3 turns golden pill has quite a few precious herbs that cannot be collected at all in the great Tang country. Otherwise the old man would have already refined it for you. Emperor Dan said with a smile. Your old man should still talk about the utility of the 3 turns golden pill. Kang Tian continued to ask. The 3 turns golden pill, an elixir that enhances cultivation without any side effects. An ordinary Jidan stage powerhouse taking a 3 turns golden pill will have their cultivation rise by 3 levels in a row. And even if it's a genius like you, taking a 3 turns golden pill will raise your cultivation by 1 level. However, this elixir is only applicable to the Jidan stage realm and is useless for cultivators above the Jidan stage. Emperor Dan said. Kang Tian was stunned at his words. He finally knew why Jin Sanxiao and the others were so shocked. This was simply a heaven-defying level of extreme elixir. Anyone else would die of excitement. If I can advance to the 6th level of the Jidan stage, then even Zhao Wuji might not be my opponent. Light flickered in Kang Tian's eyes, but he immediately realized that he was being idiotic, because with Zhao Wuji's status, he was bound to receive a 3rd transformation golden pill rewarded by the state lord as well, so the gap between them still existed. Nope, I can only raise my cultivation by 1 layer if I take this elixir, but if Grandpa takes it, then I can raise it by 3 layers. And with Grandpa's current cultivation at the 4th layer of the Jidan stage, after raising it by 3 layers, it will be the 7th layer of the Jidan stage, and that will put my mind at ease when I head to the Heavenly Tao sect. Kang Tian immediately thought of his grandfather. He thought that he had a strong talent. The speed of raising his cultivation would not be too slow. There was no need to take the 3 transformation golden pill. Instead, it would be best for grandfather to take the 3 transformation golden pill. With a cultivation at the 7th level of the Jidan stage, coupled with that spiritual artifact flying sword, below the Yuanying stage, there should not be many people who would be able to injure grandfather. Kang Tian knew that he didn't know how long it would take for him to come back from this trip to the Heavenly Tao sect, and the one thing that he couldn't let go of in his heart was his grandpa, his only relative. so he must try to do everything he could to raise his grandpa's cultivation before then. Kang Tian, we are here. At this moment, Jin San Shao's voice came. It turned out that they had already arrived at the palace. The guards of the palace were very familiar with Jin San Shao and Lei Yun, plus the fact that they had already been greeted from above, so they directly led them inside the palace. Outside a splendid palace, Kang Tian saw Zhao Wuji, Li Yuanba, Shen Tuji, Sword and Sword Door Jedi, Wu Gang and others, who had obviously been invited as well. Seeing Kang Tian and the others arrive, a few people looked differently. Zhao Wuji nodded faintly at Kang Tian and the others, and Shen Tuji mumbled to himself, not looking at Kang Tian and the others at all. The Blade and Sword Double Jedi and Wu Gang were also silent on the sidelines with their eyes closed. They didn't have any dealings with Kang Tian and the others either. Li Yuanba, on the other hand, looked at Kang Tian with a resentful expression, his fists clenched tightly. But he also knew where this place was and did not dare to make the slightest movement. You guys wait here first, a general outside the palace said to Kang Tian and the others, then entered the palace to report. Once this person left, they, the young powerhouses, were left outside the palace, and the atmosphere was a bit subtle all of a sudden. Kang Tian, at the Heavenly Dao Sect's disciple acceptance ceremony, I will fight you again. Li Yuanba stared resentfully at Kang Tian and said grimly. Kang Tian's eyes didn't dodge at all as he coldly said, I won't be merciful next time. If there was a next time, he would not show mercy to Li Yuanba. After all, his tolerance was also limited. HMPH. Li Yuanba's eyes shrunk at the words. He snorted coldly and said no more. At this time, the general came out from the hall. His icy gaze swept towards the crowd and said in a deep voice, The State Lord told you all to come in one by one. Remember not to make any noise. Li Yuanba, you come first. Li Yuanba coldly glanced at Kang Tian, then followed this general inside the hall. Outside the splendid palace, a group of young talents waited patiently. Jin San Shao watched Li Yuanba enter the palace and transmitted his voice to Kang Tian. Brother, next time, you don't need to be concerned about the Li family behind Li Yuanba. As long as he dares to mess with you, feel free to kill him. I know you are worried about your grandpa. This is something completely rest assured of in the future. I have spoken to an old undead being in our family. As long as you Kang Tian lives for one day, your grandpa will be protected by our Jin family. Even the State Lord cannot harm your grandpa. This time Kang Tian showed a powerful talent that was enough to shock everyone, and all the top management of the Jin family met that day and unanimously agreed to pull Kang Tian in at all costs. To say that amongst the great powers of this great Tang country, the Jin family was considered to be the only one that had the best relationship with Kang Tian. So this time, after they saw Kang Tian's powerful talent, they immediately decided that they wanted to firm up this relationship a little bit more. And the only direction to solidify this relationship was Kang Tian's grandfather. Thanks a lot. Kang Tian was stunned at his words. Then he nodded gratefully. He could hear the determination of Jin San Shao's words. It was obvious that the Jin family had already placed heavy bets on him. He was finally a bit more relieved about his grandfather's safety. With the full protection of the Jin family, even the Li family could not possibly endanger his grandfather anymore. Brother, you mustn't say that. Those old guys in our family still don't value your talent. Jin San Shao laughed. In the past, he also valued Kang Tian's talent before he intentionally drew closer. But without realizing it, the two seemed to be truly like blood brothers. Their relationship was very close. With regards to Kang Tian, Jin San Shao also no longer had the cunningness of an old master. This time amongst the important decisions of the Jin house, he was completely on Kang Tian's side. No matter what, it's still necessary to have more of you. What I'm most worried about right now is Grandpa's safety. I'm afraid that the Li family will use this to take revenge on me. Kang Tian transmitted his voice. For Jin San Shao, he was still very trusting. The two had known each other for more than 3 years. Her brother. In fact, you don't need to worry at all. As long as you show strong potential in the Heavenly Tao sect, without us, the Jin family, protecting your grandpa, this person in front of you will take the initiative to stand up for you. Jin Sanshao suddenly laughed, his eyes glancing towards the palace in front of him. Kang Chon was stunned, raising his head and eyeing the palace in front of him. Within it, he felt a huge pressure lurking within it. He knew that this was the legendary state lord of the great Tang kingdom. Jin Sanshao's words gave Kang Chon an important direction. He instantly understood. Kid, this 3 fatty is right. As long as you show strong potential in the Heavenly Tao sect, this kingdom lord will take the initiative to protect your grandpa. So in the future, you just need to cultivate at ease. And don't hide your cultivation either. Let everyone see your potential. Only then will they be concerned about you. And the safer your grandpa will be. Emperor Dan's voice came.